Right, good afternoon, good morning. Just a quick vid to let you know what I'm planting now. We're at the end of March, coming up to the end of March. So this is really when I'm going to start planting a lot of the kit that I'm going to be getting into my allotment plot. I've got a fair amount. I've waited until this late because I don't have the space to put all of this on a windowsill or in a propagator, which is how I've started everything that you can see so far. So my peppers, my tomatoes, I've got some beetroot out here, and these kiwanos that I spoke about in another vid that I've planted. All of that is in here. I'll have a quick view of it now. So I'm just going to let you know what I'm planting. So I've got some courgettes that I'll be planting. I don't have a particular seed brand company that I use, so you'll see that the seeds that I use come from all over. This is Uchiki curry squash. I should have come across that before, but I haven't. It looks like a small pumpkin. This is pumpkin, funny enough. I'll be planting those, and these are just my favourite. I know it's boring and plain, but butternut squash, you cannot go wrong with butternut squash. Also some corn, and I was going to put my onions. Do you remember I cleared that plot? Sorry, that little square area for my onions. I think I'm going to put corn there instead. Don't know why. Just thought I'd plant some corn there. And these are melon. I've forgotten the type of melon they are. Ananas, which I think when I bought them they were called banana melon. Ananas, what is it? Is that French or Spanish? Ananas, I don't know, for banana. And also my cucumber. Now again, I might actually put my cucumber in the propagator, but my propagator trays are up here. My Kiwano are in my propagator trays, so I might have to do a makeshift little, I don't know, thingamy-bob to keep them humid, and just plant in normal trays and put them on the heated propagator. Now I've bought these propagators. The cucumbers are Macklemore cucumbers that I'm planting. I bought these, as you would have seen in my last video, from Lidl. These part-side thingy bobbies. So that's what I'm going to be doing most of my planting in today. I think I'll probably start with my butternut squash. Why not? As I said, I bought these, and these trays are actually quite deep. There's 24 in each of those trays. Let's get the base. Base up. And I like those because they were quite deep. Previous trays I used had more, so I could plant more seed, but they are quite small. So you need to get your seedlings out of here fairly quickly, once they start to develop roots of any significance. So that's my tray filled with compost, and I'll just pick out any big chunks of wood. Or any chips. Just flatten that out nicely. Place him in there. Now I will just give him a, and I'll do this on the surface just to compact the soil in, because I want it to stay loose, but I want it to just compact into the little potting segments that it's in. And it also brings these bigger bits of wood to the surface, or wood chip, sorry, to the surface. I'll just dispose of those. There's my butternut squash. Here we are. Little label, shove him in there. Here are my squash seeds. Actually not that many, to be fair, in the pack. I can actually count these. 5, 10, 13, 14 in the pack, one of which is split, so I'm not sure how well he's going to do. Just so you can see. And all I do is make a small indentation in each cell to put my seed in, and then I'll sprinkle a bit of compost over the top. Once I'm done, again, any big lumps, get them out of the way. Hands are dry, but it's just like that. I'm not going to use all of these now, but just as simple as that. Little dentation. Pumpkin seed. Just flat. There's no particular way that you put these seeds in. And everything I'm planting today is a very similar size of seeds, so I'm not going to go through this process on all of them. So that's what, I don't know if you can see, I don't know. I'll pick up the camera instead. So that's all your seeds in there, and then I'll just sprinkle a layer of compost over the top of that and underwater. So I'll just move that aside and pour enough water into that gap there to get them started. Like I say, just Salt Bay the top. Yeah, I understand. Salt Bay, compost bay, the top of these seeds. And I'm just noticing that I can't actually underwater because there aren't any holes in the bottom of those modules. And what I do is these finger holes that I've left, I leave these just so that I now know that I've got 8 spare modules in here, and the rest is taken up by this squash. Plonk him up here, give him a decent watering. Yeah, like so. And then plug my lid on to keep the moisture in. So that is butternut squash planted. Now this, my greenhouse is going to look a lot different to this once this is all done, because it will be filling up with stuff that's going out. Now the temperature at night at the moment is around about 7 or 8 degrees. If you can hear a little sound, that's because it's raining outside. Is around about 7 or 8 degrees. So I'm happy to leave these in here without any additional heat to germinate, but I may during the daytime warm it up, because I have got a heater that I can turn on, that I can bring in here and turn on. So I might just warm it up in here just while these germinate. I'll keep an eye on the temperatures, and if they do drop at any point, I'll have to take some of this stuff back inside, including the tomatoes and the kiwano that I showed you earlier. If it gets too cold, if we get another frost for example, those guys will have to go back inside, I'm afraid, because it's not quite warm enough for them to stay out here when it is freezing outside. So I'll just plot up the rest of this gear, and Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt, away you go. These are my courgette seeds. Perfectamundo. If you can see, probably not. There we go. Compost bay ting. say these seeds are all very similar. That's pumpkin seeds. There's my little pumpkin. There he is. But we were already transforming the look of what's going on in here. Things are starting to get exciting. You guys are getting in my way, so you're going to have to go away and come back when it's all done. So all in all, my greenhouse looks like a much better place. I've got those planted, and I've also got, as you've seen before in previous videos, I've got my onions there, a couple of onions there, my Moneymaker tomatoes there, my Alison Craig tomatoes there, and at the top I've got my Kiwano, a couple of cauliflower that aren't looking so healthy if I'm honest, and my beetroot and some seed packets to tidy up. So I'm a happy chappy.